My boyfriend, 22M, of 1 year doesn't want me, 21F, dancing with other guys. My boyfriend and I started dating around a year ago, at the beginning of our senior year of college. We were friends for a while beforehand and have mostly similar goals and values. We usually resolved conflict well, however, this is the one topic that we can't seem to settle. I started competitive ballroom dancing 7 years ago after switching over from ballet. Since I first started, it's been a pretty big part of my life, at least 10 hours a week. Though I don't plan on ever dancing professionally, it is really something I love and plan on doing for the foreseeable future. When my boyfriend and I got together, I was a part of my college's ballroom dance team. From the start, my boyfriend was uncomfortable with the fact that I danced with a male partner. We had a few disagreements over this, where he voiced his unhappiness but ultimately agreed to accept it even though he didn't like it. When I explained to him how much ballroom means to me and how my dance partner and I have a purely platonic relationship, my college team explicitly banned all romantic relationships between partners anyway. This was never really resolved, but my dance partner graduated 1 semester before me, and I started dancing as a leader, i.e., I danced the guy's part, with another girl for my last semester. I did this because my team had a shortage of guys, and I thought it would be a nice way for me to stay involved with the team and to give another girl a chance to compete. I really don't enjoy dancing with the leader slash guy part, and would not have done so if I had any other choice. During this time, my relationship with my boyfriend went smoothly, and he never brought up the male partner thing again. After college, my boyfriend and I were both lucky enough to land jobs in a big city with a vibrant ballroom community. I was pretty eager to start looking for a new partner so I could dance as a follower, i.e., the ladies part. Again, I had a fair amount of trouble finding a dance partner who was at my level, was the right height for me, had similar dance goals, etc., so it was a while before I found a suitable one. Once I did, I told my boyfriend and he absolutely blew up. He had assumed that I would stop dancing after college like a lot of the members of my college team, including my partner, had, and that I would give up my partnership and search since it wasn't going well at first. He was really mad that I would be dancing with a guy again and demanded that I should find a girl to dance with instead, despite the fact that I don't like dancing as a leader and there aren't really any girls out there who are willing to dance as one. He accused me of trying to cheat on him even though my dance partner is engaged. After a long fight, I convinced him to try ballroom dancing so he could maybe understand the partnership dynamic and so that we could dance together at parties. He seemed to enjoy it a lot, so I was really excited for him. We've gone to a few social dances together where we danced with each other and it was a lot of fun. A few days ago, my boyfriend expressed interest in going to a competition since his teacher mentioned that he thought he was ready. I was initially supportive until I realized he expected me to compete with him. I explained that I was very excited that he wants to compete, but unfortunately I would not be able to compete with him since we are at different competition levels, and I planned on competing with my partner. My boyfriend got really mad at me for still choosing to dance with my partner after he had gone through all the trouble of learning ballroom dance for me. He thinks I tricked him and it isn't fair, but the reality is, he has only been dancing for a few months while I've been dancing over 10 times as long. Frankly, it is a little insulting that my boyfriend seems to think that he is on a level to compete with me after just a few months. As much as I care about my boyfriend, I also care a lot about dance. I already took a semester off from seriously competing when my former partner graduated, and I really want to get back into it as soon as possible. In the future, once my boyfriend has developed more as a dancer, I would definitely consider becoming competitive partners, but not right now. Sorry for that huge essay, but what should I do? I am considering just breaking up with him, but I was wondering if perhaps I'm being the unreasonable one. Commenter 1. He is allowed to have his boundaries slash deal breakers. They might seem unreasonable to you, they do to me, but that doesn't mean they're wrong. I think, though, that you are mismatched as a couple. Ballroom dancing is something that you love, that makes you feel connected to yourself in a positive way. You shouldn't have to give it up. So don't. Give up your boyfriend instead. OP. I think this is probably the best solution if we can't work things out. It isn't fair to him that I am always dancing with guys, which makes him uncomfortable, but it also isn't fair that I should have to quit. He told me that he thought I was being ridiculous, as most guys would have a problem with me dancing, but I guess I'll just have to find one who doesn't. Yeah, that's the best solution here. And I actually have a story for you guys. So I used to dance back in grade school. Now I'm talking like first grade through like I think I quit in fourth grade. And I had to dance with a girl once for a dance. And the first day that we danced together, I ran out of the room crying because I was so bad at waltzing, bro. Basically, waltzing is kind of like a ballroom dance, more or less, but like I was in fourth grade, so it wasn't as competitive, or it's nowhere near as competitive as if I was doing it at 21, right? And the fact that her boyfriend thinks that in 2 months he can get as good as her, who's been dancing for 7 years, he's delusional. Okay? I'm gonna keep it completely real with you. It's like any sport. If someone's been playing freaking football for 10 years and someone who's been playing for 2 months tries to compete with them, there's no chance. They're gonna blow them out of the water. So For the girl in the situation, the original poster, it's not unreasonable for her to not want to dance with her boyfriend. And to the boyfriend, he honestly has a valid complaint. I mean, there's nothing I can really say there other than, like the commenter said, they're just a mismatched couple. The boyfriend, I don't think, would ever get over his jealousy of the other guy dancing with his girlfriend. And, to some people, that's a big deal. And I can't really blame him. I mean, I guess I would be kind of jealous. Maybe. Like, it depends. But, like, she loves dancing. So, like, you should want to support your partner in what they love. And he was literally getting better at it so that he could dance with her. But he shouldn't be belittling her because she doesn't want to dance with him, right? Anyways, let's just get into the update and see how this is resolved, although I only see it going one way. Update 2 months later. I first came here a couple months ago asking for advice regarding my boyfriend who hated the fact that I dance ballroom competitively with a male partner who is not him. I ended up sitting down for a long conversation where we talked about why he felt uncomfortable with my dancing and discussed potential compromises. I apologized for not being clear about dancing together socially rather than competitively, and as a compromise, brought up an additional mixed proficiency competition where we could dance together competitively and made it clear that it was in addition to continuing to compete with my partner until my boyfriend reached the level I compete at, which would take at least a few years. He was upset by this at first, but agreed if he could meet my partner and get to know him better. All in all, the conversation seemed pretty promising, and promising enough that I decided to give my boyfriend one last chance. I talked to my dance partner, and we set up a double date with my partner's fiance at a coffee shop. At the date, my partner's fiance mentioned how she got much more comfortable with the idea of her fiance dancing with another woman by watching them practice a few times. This was while my dance partner was dancing with someone else. My boyfriend thought this was a great idea and asked me if it was okay if he drove me to practice a few times on the weekends and watched. I agreed, but on the condition that he worked with my practice schedule and that he did not interfere in any way during our practice. During the third weekend of this arrangement, he was in bed with a hangover Saturday morning at 9:30 when I had to head out for practice. I had reminded him the night before about my practice plans and had woken him up at 9 a.m. to remind him again, but he had refused to get up. So I told him it was okay and drove myself to practice. When I got back for lunch at 1:30, he was absolutely pissed. He accused me of sneaking around behind his back with my dance partner, even though I clearly told him multiple times that's where I was going, and went on a rant about how it's so obvious that I'm trying to cheat on him. He brought up how I held the door open for my dance partner during our double date and how my dance partner and I were smiling too much during our practices. I was so sick of constantly feeling like I was doing something wrong that I finally snapped and broke up with him. That evening, my now ex boyfriend blew up my phone about how he didn't think I was serious and that I was being unfair to him. He said had to come back because I had agreed to compete with him. I responded that because I had given my word, I was still willing to compete with him at the one competition I had suggested earlier, but that's it. He got even angry and said not to bother because ballroom dancing is stupid. I was a cheating hoe for choosing dancing over him, and I would never find a guy like him. Lol, I really hope I don't. Breaking our lease cost a fair bit, and moving was a hassle, but honestly, it's been so refreshing not having to deal with constant arguments. It's a little lonely living by myself now sometimes, but it is so worth being able to live and dance on my own terms. Hopefully, someday I would meet a guy who supports my dancing, but only time will tell, I guess. Commenter 1. It's quite sad if you ask me, but he did have it coming. Commenter 2. Some people will sabotage their relationship by making demands they don't think their significant other can meet, and if they do so, they just come up with new demands. That's what I think was going on here. OP was never going to satisfy him. If she quit dance, there would have been something else. OP. I think that's the thing that bothered me. I felt like he always seemed to come up with a new expectation and demand whenever I would make a concession. Wow, I guess I just missed the part in the first post where she said he was literally engaged and that he was a fiance. Because what does the boyfriend have to worry about? I mean, I guess it's like another dude, but like he met them and they looked clearly engaged, unless he was in some type of open relationship with her. But again, nothing in the post really pointed to that. And I just like the boyfriend's just insecure and they just weren't a good match. But I guess the boyfriend just didn't care and wanted to ruin and burn the bridge they had between them. He could have just broke up with her and been like, "Look, I'm sorry, like I can't do it. So I'm just going to break up with you." And that would have probably been fine. Right? Like okay, it would have been sad for both of them, but the his girlfriend would have accepted it and he would have to move on. It's okay, right? Like I wouldn't want my partner to quit doing what they love just because I'm not okay with it. I'd rather just steer them in the direction that they want to go in life because some people just aren't meant for each other, and that's okay. And she'll definitely find someone who is meant for her, because I'm sure tons of guys don't care that their dance partner has a platonic relationship with another dude, right? I mean, probably. I mean, I wouldn't. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.